Really? I've never seen a job that you work hard, that you fulfill hard function where you're actually working like a slave, where you get paid $8 an hour.
Oh, you haven't seen, I guess, landscapers. You know, half of those employees are probably getting $8 an hour. House painters is probably 1/4 of the people working for house painters are getting $8 an hour. You know, we can go down the list of construction workers, maybe 10% of those people, you know, working on a pretty hazardous construction sites are probably getting $8 an hour. Fuck you.
If hard work is what you're willing to put into the mix, then you shouldn't be working for $8 an hour.
Yeah, you might be able to get 10 as a orderly in a nursing home, cleaning up puke and shit.
What do you think of the kind of people that work for $8 an hour?
Oh, it matters what kind of people are. So there are, yes, if they're stupid people, we can exploit them. That's the rule, right? So if the world ever goes back to it just be, you know, if they're weak, then we'll exploit them, right? We'll just behave like insects, call it capitalism, and be all proud of ourselves because we behaved like an insect. You're such an asshole.
Store employees, retail, a lot of retail, make about $8 an hour. Nope, can't think of a factory job where you'd make $8 an hour.
Well, how many factory jobs are there really in the country? So, I mean, obviously, if there's a very few jobs, only the most skilled are going to get those jobs, and they're probably going to pay a decent wage. But, I mean, if we had more factories, I'm sure we'd be exploiting more people in this country. But, you know, we made these little rules about how you can't fuck the environment, how you can't fuck people, and so, you know, you can't pay them 50 cents an hour. You know, so we don't have those factories anymore.
Can't think of a road paving. Nope, can't work for the Department of Transportation for $8 an hour. Yeah, you're an idiot. Yeah,
right. You're a person who has no chance of being able to pay their rent. That's what you are. And you're somebody who's working hard, doing a product, making a contribution, a productive contribution to society, and assholes like you are pissing on their head. Fuck you again. Thoroughly.
Moron. Oh, good. And then he goes on to say his bullshit theory. Capitalists today take advantage of the fact that human beings over-reproduce. And this point kind of stuck with me when he said he brought up...
Yeah, well, supply and demand. You said that before, right? So if you create a bunch of... If poverty creates poor children with no education in excess, you know, a whole bunch of them, and there's no work for them to do, obviously now there's a huge supply, and so now their wages, their value is going to be decreased. It really isn't that complex an idea, and for you not to be able to get it. I mean, it's what the Catholic Church invested in for hundreds of years, all right? They told people to keep having babies, and they made sure they stayed good and fucking poor so they could exploit them to build their cathedrals, because they couldn't get their cathedrals built if they had to pay people to build them.
Over reproduction. So, what? What? So
you're a retard. You really don't understand that basic concept that if you create too many people that are unskilled and uneducated, that then they're going to be exploitable because they're going to be desperate to buy a shelter and to buy food. I mean, you're such a fucking idiot.
There's a surplus of labor because human beings over-reproduce. What? What do you mean they over-reproduce?
They reproduce excessively, okay? They have too many children. They can't care for them. They can't educate them. They can't provide for their competence in the world they're going to have to compete in. They can't make them competent, all right? If you can't make your child competent, then you have no business having one.
And that's the reason capitalists hold the world in an iron fist? You're an idiot. Really, I mean, wow. I can't believe there are people that agree with you. I think they must all be trolls because you've spent your entire time on YouTube trolling people.
Yeah, exactly how have I done that trolling people thing? I mean, could you give me an example of somebody I trolled, asshole? So that's another accusation just comes out of your pompous, smug, fucking ugly face that you can't back up with anything. All right?
I can kind of respect that, I guess. Alright, so it's obvious you believe that workers are the means of production. Okay? You're a communist. Most Holocaust deniers are communists. You know, Marx, you'd have been right at home with Marx.
Yeah, whatever. So you're a communist if you believe workers create productivity, that their work is the value in the economy. You're a communist if you respect work.
Although I'm pretty sure he wasn't a Holocaust. He wouldn't have been a Holocaust denier either. Then he throws in a motherfucker with a broken leg. Like, after saying you're exploiting a worker for $8 an hour, he throws in the motherfucker with a broken leg. Like, where the fuck did that come from? That's not even your argument.
Well, what's the difference? Broken leg, uneducated brain, snot-filled nose like you. I mean, would you let go of your nose already? I mean, I know your brain probably creates all this mucus and pus and snot, and it's got to come out of something, but maybe you could force it out your ears instead of your fucking ugly nose.
Then he says that's what we're engaging in is behavior of bacteria without brains.
Yeah, without anything. I mean, you got no, I mean, I hate to use the word, but you got no soul. You got no integrity. You got no elegance, no dignity, no character, nothing. You're just, you know, the definition of the scum of the earth. I mean, scum is better than you. It's almost insulting scum to put you in the category of scum because you're maliciously an asshole where scum just does it by nature.
You can thank capitalism for the fact that you live on government cheese. You can thank someone else's hard work for the fact that...
No, I can thank the fact that I paid my Social Security taxes, fucker. You know, really, you know, what have you accomplished? I bet I worked more hours and did more productive work before I graduated from high school than you'll do in your whole fucking life. Because you can't be useful to anybody. There's no way you do any productive work. You've got to be a spammer. The only way you're making your living has got to be lying. Because you just got every character defect possible. And so it's got to be, right? So why don't you tell me what you do that's so fucking marvelous, asshole?
We live in a society, someone else's idea, built on the back of workers. Workers, bourgeois, bourgeois. Try more, you...
Yeah, you know, somebody who doesn't respect work, I mean, what are you? What is that? I mean, this is like I said. What you're going to win an argument by saying, by humiliating and insulting workers?
Fuck. And then he goes on to explain to us all how the stock market works. But he did it totally wrong.
You know, interesting that, you know, you have to have printed in front of your video through the whole fucking video, your goddamn website. So apparently you presume that the people watching your video are too stupid. They have to have it in front of their face the entire 11 minutes.
It was incorrect as fuck. I mean, that's what led to the Depression in the 20s. But when you offer something you've invested money into as collateral to a bank for a loan, you're offering them something tangible. It's not buying fake currency. It's offering them something tangible, some land.
Oh, yeah, right. Some bubble real estate that's going to lose its value. And look, a lot of loans aren't collateralized, moron. Okay, they're based on projected income or projected earnings of a company or some other not so tangible piece of collateral. It's not money in the bank they're borrowing on. And whatever. Enough said.
Or some that the bank is then expected, if you can't pay or you fuck up through bad business decisions, to pay out for. And then he said, if Google started charging everyone per $1, it'd be like a tax on the internet, and it would create an inflation.
Google's already charging, okay? It's charging for some websites. It's actually as crazy as this sounds. It's up to $50. All right, for tourist links, they're paying $50 a click. All right, I think the average price per click on those ads is $1. So every time you click on one of those ads, you've already forced the company you're going to do business with to pay Google $1. All right, that's the financing charge just to get you to the website. So before any of the other business expenses, you're already been fucked. All right, and you got to figure that out of 4 or 5 or 6 people that might click that link, only one of them is going to purchase something. So automatically you've already paid $6 or $7 just to find the goddamn place you're going to buy your product from. So yes, that's bullshit. All right, I mean there's no reason to have a, we wouldn't invent a public library and say, oh, let's put in a card catalog and force the books to pay to get into it. And let's force them to get in the front page, and we'll make sure all the information is so scattered and incomplete, and we'll only judge which books are popular, and we'll throw all those cards in the front. All right, and so the only way the guys in the back can get any kind of recognition on the internet is they're going to have to pay to get put in the front. And that's the bullshit system that exists, you asshole.